folks a few more moments to grab chairs. Thank you all for coming today to today's press conference and grantee meet and greet. My name is Jen Teadji, and I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Disciples Foundation. Before we get started, I would like to ask everyone to turn off their cell phones or put it on vibrate just so that it doesn't go off during the press conference. Before we get started, I would also like to thank Wesley Evening Food Pantry, one of our grant recipients, and the Wesley Foundation for generously donating this room for today's event. We are hosting today's event here in this very room because this is where the Wesley Evening Food Pantry meets once a month and serves over 1,400 people in an evening. Behind me, you can see a selection of the food that they put out, and normally this is here at the beginning of the food pantry each evening, and it gives people a chance to see what they have, and it gives people a chance to pick what they would like to get. And that's something that is a rarity in most food pantries. Usually you're given a bag of food and you don't have a say about what products or what food you're getting. And by doing so, it's one of the key elements that makes Wesley Evening Food Pantry not just a service to the community and in the community, but an act of social justice, because it's giving dignity back to the people who are getting food. Today, we are here to announce and recognize the 19 recipient organizations of the IDF Social Justice Grant, who received over $175,000 in 2009. We, the IDF, are very fortunate to be able to offer this grant as of last spring. This press conference signifies the success of IDF's year-long strategic transition, started by the sale of our campus building, moving from direct action to social justice grant making. The IDF's mission is informed by our legacy of campus ministry, direct action for social change, and the radical traditions of the disciples of Christ. The IDF continues our activist legacy by supporting efforts to further the struggles for systemic change to attain social justice. And I wholeheartedly believe that this newly established grant program is a strong step in fulfilling our mission. The strategic transition that the IDF undertook put us in a very unique position to offer these grants to our community. In a time where we only hear about economic recession, unemployment, bankruptcy, a time when many grant-giving organizations of all sizes have to cut back grants and other funding sources, we have been able to put money back into the community where we have been based for over 100 years, and it's allowed us to put the community first. All of the grant recipients this year are based in Champaign County and serve the local community through direct social service and social justice work. They serve the underrepresented and more often unrepresented citizens of our community. I'm very pleased to announce this year's grant recipients, the first class of the IDF Social Justice Grant. As I read these organizations, would representatives from those organizations raise your hand when your organization is called? Central Illinois Jobs with Justice. Champaign County Christian Health Center. Champaign County Healthcare Consumers. Champaign-Urbana Area Project. Champaign-Urbana Tenant Union. Channing Murray Foundation and the Red Herring Vegetarian Restaurant. Church of Brethren's Motherlands Culture Club. Crisis Nursery. East Central Illinois Refugee Mutual Assistance Center. Greater Community AIDS Project. Hope Community Health Center. National Alliance on Mental Illness for Champaign County. North First Street Association of Champaign. Partnership Accounts for Individual Development. Smile Healthy. Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center's Books to Prisoners. Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center's Public Eye. The University YMCA. And Wesley Evening Food Pantry. And congratulations to all of our recipients. Thank you very much. At today's press conference, we'll have a chance to hear from representatives of 5 of these organizations, followed by a statement from State Representative Naomi Jacobson and from State Senator Mike Ferris. Our first speaker is from the Wesley Evening Food Pantry. Dr. Howard White has served as director of the Wesley Foundation at the University of Illinois and senior pastor at Wesley United Methodist Church since 2002. He is one of the small army of volunteers who helped turn this facility, this very room, into a food pantry one day each month that has provided a week of groceries for more than 1,400 people in a single evening. He's here today as our host, but also to speak on behalf of the Wesley Evening Food Pantry. Please welcome Dr. Howard White.
Well, good morning. It is a special privilege for us to welcome you all here to Wesley. As I reflected on the talent, the integrity, the commitment, the passion of the people who are represented in this room, it is truly humbling. And most humbling to think about the fact that all of this talent and passion is devoted to the service of those who are the most vulnerable members of our community. I'm a senior pastor of Wesley United Methodist Church and the director of the Wesley Foundation. These days, that also makes me a member of the Wesley Evening Food Pantry cheerleading team. And so I want to share with you what the Illinois Disciple Foundation Social Justice Grant will mean to us, but forgive me if I also do a little bit of cheerleading. Hunger is a symptom of poverty. It is a symptom that we need to treat, but it is a symptom that will not ease except for our ability to address other aspects of poverty. And it is with deep gratitude that I get to share the news that the Illinois Disciple Foundation has awarded the Wesley Evening Food Pantry a $30,000 grant. Their interest in supporting us is not just to help fund work that is already happening. Their interest is in helping an organization like ours to be able to take the next step in addressing the root causes of poverty and hunger in this community, to help us complete our mission, which is to provide a week's worth of food to assist people through the end of the month when paychecks and food stamps may be low. To schedule the food pantry in the evening to accommodate work and school responsibilities. To respect self-determination as participants select their own food choices that match their family's needs. To provide regular resource centers of information, referral, and health consultation. To train volunteers regarding both procedures and the operational value of respect, access, and choice. And to address the root causes of hunger for our particular set of clients. Wesley Evening Food Pantry opened 3 years ago next month. The first month we served 5 people, one family. We were told that it would catch on if we kept on opening our doors. This October we will be prepared to provide a week of food for 1,400 people. And there have been months when we have provided that much. We're driven by the values and talents of a large group of people who share the sentiments of Wesley Evening Food Pantry Director Donna Camp. At a recent forum I heard her say, "I don't think anyone should have to be hungry, and I can do something about it." Well, the number of people we serve has grown by 400% this year. It's certainly related to the economy. There may be a ripple effect from some other agencies in town that have lost funding or are overwhelmed themselves. More and more people that we deal with seem to be living on that knife edge of making it and not making it. We do serve some poor people who need help month after month. But in dealing largely with the working poor, we also see many people who may need the assistance of a food pantry just one time because of something that came up in their lives, maybe an unexpected, uninsured trip to a doctor or a dentist. Maybe one family member was caught between jobs or they were caught off guard by repair. Well, it's possible they also made a bad choice. But we don't consider it our role to deny somebody food because they may have made a bad choice. We want to treat every person who comes here with dignity and with the respect that they deserve. A portion of the grant is going to assist us in purchasing the truckloads of food that it takes to have something for everyone who comes on the third Thursday each month. But the much larger part of this award is making it possible for Wesley to say, what next? And to complete our goals, particularly that last one, helping address the root causes of poverty for our set of clients. This grant will also help us to create sustainable structures so that we can do this work for as long as it continues to be needed. Consider that this church of 200 plus people on Sunday morning, a lot of them full-time students, is feeding 1,400 plus people on Thursday night. To sustain this, we need to be able to recruit, train, and deploy an army of volunteers. We have to find new funding partners. We need to design a delivery system that can move so many people throughout the process in such a short time. This grant also makes it possible for us to bring onto our staff on a part-time basis our director, Donna Camp. Donna is a passionate spokesperson for people who need a voice. She's also a marvelous organizer and fundraiser. And in Donna, we have a spokesperson who can come talk to about volunteer and sponsorship opportunities for your church mission committees or to a business that might be considering giving something back to the community. And she's only just assumed this new role, but already we have created new opportunities for all kinds of volunteers. And giving people, particularly international students, university students, other members of the community, the chance to be involved in a hands-on way, making a difference in the issue of hunger in this community is going to transform their lives as well as the community. We have volunteers who are putting together a haunted house fundraiser where this building, which we turn into a grocery store once a month, is going to turn into a haunted house for a couple of days at the end of October. We have high school students who spend their lunch hour repackaging food so that we can buy more food in bulk. And international students who help turn the hallways and Sunday school classrooms into a kind of grocery store. Translators who help us communicate with Spanish-speaking clients, and people who help read to children, personal shoppers who help people choose the best food for their families. Well, once more I express our profound sense of gratitude to the Illinois Disciple Foundation for creating this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity at a time when we needed it badly. And if you don't think that anyone should be hungry, and you want to do something about it, we invite you to learn more about the Wesley Evening Food Pantry at our website, wesleypantry.org. And there you can find information for people who need help and for those who want to donate, volunteer, and partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moyer. Our next speaker is Patricia Avery from the Champaign-Urbana Area Project. Since 2004, she has served as the Executive Director of Champaign-Urbana Area Project, a nonprofit, community-based community organizing agency, whose mission is to reduce juvenile delinquency and whose policies are steeped in the promise of balanced and restorative justice, also known as BARGE. Under Patricia's leadership, CUAP is the second entity in the state to implement a school-based peer jury program. Patricia is trained and certified in all BARGE procedures or practices. She wrote what is now resolution number 4960, a resolution adopting the philosophy and principles of balanced and restorative justice in Champaign County that was adopted by the Champaign County Board on May 19, 2005. Patricia served 8 years on the Champaign County Board from 1998 until 2006, and 4 of those years as the first African American and first county chairwoman. She has spent the past 15 years serving on various board and commissions locally fighting for social justice. Please give a warm welcome to Patricia Avery.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Champaign Area Project Board and staff, we are really very delighted to be here this morning to thank the Illinois Disciple Foundation, their board and staff in person. It's very rare that you get an opportunity to actually thank your funders in person, so thank you. We also want to thank the Wesley Foundation for hosting us this morning in this room, where I find there's a lot of wonderful things going on. I just wanted to introduce you to Hope Malik. She is one of our parents, and she's standing here beside me. I noticed she didn't get an introduction, but she's really one of the very reasons why we're here today, because she's one of the P3 parents. Again, I just want to say thank you to IDFs for their process. And first, by thanking them for allowing us to submit a social service grant. And then secondly, for selecting CUAP to receive it. I don't know about the rest of the grantees, but when I opened up that letter, I always open up that letter with a little bit of care, and maybe even this year with a prayer before I opened it up. Just to elaborate, we were very excited when we heard the buzz that IDF was sending out RFPs this year, because it was during that exact time when the human service providers in our community were under attack. And we had threats of losing our funding. That was at an all-time high. I've never seen anything like it. Our organization would get the news from the state that our funds for our community youth service dollars would be eliminated, not cut, eliminated. That was very devastating news, because all of our work organizing, advocating, and providing direct services around juvenile delinquency prevention in our community, along with Project Access, would be limited, very limited. We were very pleased to know our community foundation, like IDF, would step up and fill the gap. Because as IDF has stated, there is no justice when basic human needs are not met. Receiving this grant will help us meet an important human need. We all know that knowledge is power. With the IDF funds, we will now be able to host our third Project Access Parent Conference. Project Access is a network of community members and youth-serving organizations coming together to create a family-driven, youth-focused, culturally inclusive system dedicated to promoting healthy families, strong communities, and an environment which fosters the well-being of children and youth, with a particular emphasis upon those from traditionally underserved populations. Hope Malik is here with me today, and she is one of our parent leaders from Project Access, parent group called Parents Promoting Presence, or more affectionately, we call it P3. Now, because of the $2,000 conference and training dollars we receive from IDF, our Access parents will become not only better advocates for their own children, but will help them to make ownership of a child serving system as well. Would help them take ownership of a child serving system as well. Again, Hope and I would like to thank you.
And we appreciate the help that we're going to need to reach out to other parents in the community and other schools, not just Central and District, what's it, 14?
District 116 and Unit 4.
Yeah, Unit 4 and 116. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Stephanie Rucker from Crisis Nursery. Stephanie has just completed her first year as the Executive Director of Crisis Nursery. Her experience in education, juvenile justice, and child welfare complements the needs of children and their families in crisis situations. Stephanie's professional experience includes staff trainings, supervision and evaluation, developing budgets, monitoring programs, and grant writing. And obviously she does that well. She has a master's in education from the University of Illinois, Educational Organization and Leadership Department, as well as a master's in social work. Most recently, she was named a 2009 40 Under 40 Central Illinois Business Award winner. Stephanie, please come on up.
thank the Illinois Disciples Foundation for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today, and the Wesley Foundation for hosting this event. Crisis Nursery is a wonderful organization, and I'm honored to and fortunate to be a part of it. I started in June 2008, so I'm still relatively new in the position, but I've really enjoyed learning so much about the community support that we have, and honored to be here to talk to you today. The nursery opened its doors to children on July 9th, 1984, and this is our 25th anniversary this year. Crisis Nursery is the only 24-hour, 365 days a year child abuse prevention and family support agency of its kind in Champaign County. The nursery is available to the entire community to access with no fees, income eligibility, or waiting list. Besides safe shelter for children, we also provide family support and parenting education in order to strengthen parent skills and confidence. Our belief is that asking for help is a sign of strength. During these difficult economic times, Crisis Nursery has become an even greater necessity for our community. We're committed to providing an island of safety dedicated to prevention of child abuse and neglect by providing emergency intervention, respite care, and support to families in crisis. Our research with the University of Illinois School of Social Work has even shown that families who are referred by DCFS for our services have less repetition of abuse and neglect than families who have never been involved with the nursery. Our services work, and our community needs us now more than ever. As we enter this next fiscal year, we're aware of nearly $80,000 in cuts from both local and state funding sources. This is nearly 10% of our operating budget. Given the current state of the economy, we need the support of our community now more than ever, and the Illinois Disciples Foundation has stepped up to help fill the gap for local organizations such as Crisis Nursery. With such generosity, we will, without a doubt, overcome this financial adversity. The funding that we've received from the Illinois Disciples Foundation will go towards supporting our Crisis Care program. Crisis Care is provided to children birth through 5 whose families have no other resources and are in crisis due to reasons such as parental stress, illness, accidents, and homelessness, just to name a few. After the crisis, supportive groups and individual assistance are provided to help families become more self-sufficient. This funding will provide 720 hours of crisis care to 30 children. Thank you again to the Illinois Disciples Foundation for giving us the opportunity to apply for the Social Justice Grant. I can assure you that every penny of your funding will go towards providing an island of safety for children in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Our next speaker is the program manager of the Church of the Brethren's Motherlands Culture Club, Dawn Blackman. She is a business owner who has lived in Champaign since 1994, and as a military wife, lived and traveled in many parts of the Middle East, Europe, and the United States. It is from these travels and apprenticeships that the Culture Club program was born, whose activities are meant not only to inform and entertain, but to build bridges of knowledge between people of diverse cultures. Dawn has provided public workshops for museums, libraries, schools, churches, and festivals in her hometown of Chicago, here in Champaign, and communities across Central Illinois and other cities across the Midwest. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dawn Blackman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I too would like to thank the Illinois Disciple Foundation and the Wesley Foundation for hosting us. Across the front of the building of the Champaign Church of the Brethren, there's a banner that reads, "Peace and social justice practiced here." It's followed by the Micah scripture, "Love mercy, do justice, and walk humbly before God." It is with these twin statements as modus operandi that the Champaign Church of the Brethren sponsors Motherlands Culture Club. Their sponsorship allows us to reach out to the community and to provide a space where children can learn about one another and to build bridges of understanding and peace. Our selection as one of the recipients of the Illinois Disciples Foundation grant will allow us to continue and expand this work. This grant will allow us to stand in the gap for families and latchkey children in our community. It will allow us to stand in the gap created by the current economic realities where two incomes are needed and there's nobody to watch the children. And to continue our children's peace ministry. We feel honored to be counted among the wonderful organizations represented here. And we thank the Illinois Disciple Foundation for its support and the faith in our outreach programs, which include the community garden and many other volunteer training programs for children. We're looking forward to the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Our final grantee speaker is Nancy Greenwald. Nancy has been the Executive Director of Smile Healthy for 2.5 years. Prior to that, she has worked with Community Shares of Illinois and the Champaign County Healthcare Consumers. Nancy is interested in maximizing health outcomes through responsive community and public health programs. She has served on the Champaign County Board and volunteers for Dr. Howard Elementary School. Please welcome Nancy Greenwald.
Hi. Smile Healthy is a nonprofit organization that provides dental care to the underserved in our community. We have a permanent dental clinic, mobile dental clinics, special events, and coordinate care for thousands of patients each year. We provide direct services and oral health education with the support of area dentists, hygienists, assistants, college students, community volunteers, donors, and a committed staff. The Illinois Disciples Foundation Social Justice Grants awarded us $47,150 and a general support grant supporting healthcare justice. The grant is a real gift considering the economy's impact on us and other nonprofits, while demand for our care grows. It comes at the same time a number of our funders have either cut the amount they've awarded us or have put their giving programs on hold. IDF support will allow us to expand our volunteer program and outreach to the University of Illinois and Parkland College. This has the dual benefit of expanding the amount of care we can provide because of the assistance of volunteers, and exposing our future dentists and dental hygienists to the dramatic need for care. We expect to work with over 100 volunteer future oral health professionals during the grant year. Our mobile dental services are very popular, and many area agencies have asked if we could come serve their adults. With IDF funding, we plan to serve the Prairie Center, Mental Health Center, and the Developmental Services Center. We have scheduled our first care event with the Prairie Center for October 23rd and 30th. When we can't bill Medicaid or insurance for the dental treatments we provide, the care needs to be covered by some other source of funding. The Prairie Center and Smile Healthy had presented to the Mental Health Board to seek funding. We had asked agencies if they could find the funds in their existing budgets, and we had talked to many others about covering the cost of care. No funding was available. So when we found out that the Illinois Disciples Foundation was awarding us a general support grant, the first thing we did was contact the Prairie Center to tell them that we would still like to come provide the care, but that Smile Healthy was going to cover the cost. It's very important to us to continually try out new care delivery models and programs. This way we learn the best way to deliver dental care to the people we serve, like the children enrolled in Head Start, the cadets at Lincoln's Challenge Academy, county grade school students, and patients at Francis Nelson Health Center. Our first adult mobile dental clinics will serve at least 20 clients from each of the 3 agencies and allow us to analyze the oral health needs for each group to help in future planning and presentations to potential funders. Demand for our programs seems to be limitless, and I'm afraid we have long waits for care and need to do more. Thank you to the IDF board and staff for this generous grant. We will use their support to reach as many as possible.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you to all of our grantee speakers. I think another round of applause is due. Before we wrap up the press conference, I have the great pleasure of introducing State Representative Naomi Jacobson. Representative Jacobson was elected to the General Assembly in the fall of 2002. For that time, she served as Champaign County Recorder for 12 years, Interim Director of a Domestic Violence Shelter, and the Executive Director of the University YWCA. Jacobson's top priorities as State Representative are to increase funding for education, stand up for the University of Illinois, improve access to affordable health care, strengthen environmental standards, fuel our local economy, and be an accessible representative. And I think that she's doing a very good job of that by being here today. And it is my pleasure to introduce our State Representative, Naomi Jacobson.
Good morning. Thank you for that kind introduction. I'd like to add to that I chair Human Services, and I think that's one of the reasons we're all here. That's a very important House committee that I'm happy to serve on and very happy to be able to chair. Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody in this room and to everybody in this community. You know, if we were ever going to think of a subtitle for this community, for our Twin Cities or our whole county, I think we could call it the community of caring and generosity. In some way or another, everybody in this room is here because they care, they're generous, and the generosity flows because people have to give, people have to work, and then there are recipients who, again, turn around and probably volunteer in some of the organizations that they've been so fortunate to receive from. So congratulations to the recipients of all the awards. Congratulations to the Illinois Disciples Foundation for the work that you've done so that you got to this point and the decision that you made that you wanted to share your resources with the rest of the community. And congratulations to the people who live in our community, those who benefit from the services and the goods that are provided from all the people in this room and even those who aren't represented here. Congratulations to those of you who serve. We know that when you stand up here and accept your award, we know that you've done an awful lot of work to earn that. And you didn't earn it for yourself, you earn it for those that you want to serve. And congratulations to those, all of you, who support the work, whether it's from the actual work that you do in your job, or whether you're a volunteer with an organization, or through your financial contributions. I think we should all be honored and proud to have a connection with, an association with the Illinois Disciples Foundation and all of the grant recipients. Once again, congratulations.
And next, although this is not on the agenda, we do have another speaker, our State Senator, Mike Frerichs.
Thank you very much for letting me come up here today. I won't take too much of your time. As an elected official, frequently we have press conferences where we like to claim some sort of credit for things we've done for the community. This is one of those cases where I can't claim any credit. But I'm here to say thank you to those who have made this possible, and congratulations to those of you who received these grants. Part of the reason I run for public office is because I believe that government can do an awful lot of good to break down inequalities, to bash barriers, to help those who are most in need. But government can't do everything ourselves. And this room here today is proof of that, why I choose to live in this community and why I think it's such a great community. As I look around here, some of my favorite organizations in town are represented in the audience. Some of my favorite people in town. People who also believe in breaking down barriers and helping out those who are least fortunate are here gathered today. And I just want to say thank you for letting me come up here and be part of this. It's just a real honor to be with all of you who are fighting, I think, for the common good. Thanks.
And thank you very much for coming up here to speak. I would like to thank all of the speakers today and all of the grant recipients for all the tremendous work that you do, not only to help our community, but to address community issues head-on and to create systemic change for social justice. The issues addressed by our grant recipients are not unique to Champaign County and are part of a national and international crisis. But we can be most effective in creating a wider systemic, institutional, and societal change by struggling for justice here in our own community. Martin Luther King Jr. once stated, and I know it's an often used quote, but I think it has a lot of meaning: human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. I believe that this year's grant recipients exemplify the struggles he spoke of. With the idea of social justice grants, we envision more than reading applications and signing checks. We look forward to the upcoming year as an opportunity to build connections and resources amongst the grantee recipients, to bring awareness to the issues facing our community, and to join together in solidarity to seek systemic change that will bring peace and social justice to Champaign County. We are taking that first step today with the grantee meet and greet following the press conference. In a moment, we will conclude the press conference portion of today's event, and we'll move into the grantee meet and greet. Today's speakers, along with myself, will be available for media interviews at that time. Before we do that, again, I want to thank everyone for coming, whether you're here on behalf of an organization or on behalf of the community. The work that you do is so important, and to be able to recognize the work that you do and reward that with grants on behalf of the IDF board, I'm very honored to be able to do that. One thing I would like to do before we conclude is actually invite all of the grant recipients up here for a chance for all of us to get together and kind of bond and get a photo. So the photo was the key part of that, I'm sorry. But if everyone would come on up, and then we will break for the meet and greet. I did. Thank you everyone for coming up here. At this point, we're breaking into the informal meet and greet.
I know, right? I'm glad as well.
Our snacks, food, refreshments, help yourselves.
I know, right?
Check out literature from the other organizations. And if you have any questions,